right, so for our next recipe, we're making frozen banana custard pops. So these are specifically tailored because sometimes, you might be caregiving for somebody who just doesn't have an appetite, or, they are experiencing weight loss. And so kind of having snacks or things that are handy is important so that, to keep up with calories and to get enough protein in. So these are a really easy and simple way to get fruit, but also some protein.
Yes, so we're going to start with a traditional, in Italian it's called zavaglione. French, it's called savaillon, but it's essentially sort of an egg yolk kind of custard. And it's very tasty, it's very rich, but we're making these small little bites.
Yes.
That's what Stephanie tasked me with. So I think it came out pretty good. What we want to do, and the reason why we want to do this too, is because we want to talk a little about food safety, which is important for sure if you're cooking for yourself, but especially if you're cooking for others. You definitely want to make sure that you're cooking everything to its proper, safe internal temperature. Yeah. So we are starting with 6 egg yolks, and I'm going to just whisk this up, and we're going to add a little bit of honey. This is, it looks like maple syrup.
I was just going to say it's very dark.
Yeah, it's a buckwheat honey, so it's just a little darker.
Canadian?
From Quebec, yeah.
Yeah, and so food safety is important, especially for those who are going through cancer treatment and have a weakened immune system. So in order to fight off infection, you want to reduce the ability of any sort of bacteria that is coming from food. So cooking at specific temperatures is what's going to help.
Yeah.
I know I've seen a lot of recommendations that people eat raw honey instead. Like, I'm just wondering if you have any information about that.
I would say make sure that your honey is pasteurized.
It's not raw, right?
That's not raw.
Exactly. So it's cooked or it's heated at a certain level to kill off all the bacteria.
It'll always say on the bottle if it is pasteurized. It'll be very difficult to find unpasteurized honey here in Ontario.
Yeah, unless you go to like a farmer's market or...
So we're going to flavor this, and you can add any sort of flavoring that you want. This was actually breakfast for me in the morning, and I'm not lying. It would be egg yolks and Marsala wine. This is what my grandmother would send me off to school with. We're not using wine here today. No. No. This is vanilla. We're going to add some vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon, and you need a liquid of some sort. So you can add a little bit of orange juice, lemon juice, you can use coffee. Again, we want to maximize our calories today, and this is just an example for that. So we're actually going to add a little bit of cream to this, and we're going to add about a 1/4 cup. That's by eye, about a 1/4 cup. We're not eating this entire thing as well, remember, unless you want it. But okay, now it's going to go into our bowl, and I could have just, to save dishes, I could have just done it all in that bowl. But I like doing dishes. So this bowl is over some steaming water. Now what we're doing is we're heating the bottom of the bowl so that it's gently cooking the eggs, right? If I were to add this custard right into that pan, what would happen?
It would curdle.
Cooked eggs, yeah. We have scrambled eggs, another type of breakfast, but not what we're looking for, right? So what we're doing is using this called Banbury Technique, where we're heating, again, the steam's heating the bowl. So you want to use something that's obviously heat safe. Any of the Pyrex bowls, or you have like the stainless steel aluminum bowls or metal bowls, you can use those as well. And we just want to whisk until we get a really nice thick custard. And it takes a few minutes, but we're also looking for the internal temperature here too, right? So with eggs, food safety rules, you want to be cooking your eggs to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 164 degrees Fahrenheit. With egg yolks on their own, You can cook them to 160, but especially if you're immunocompromised, even on your notes, we suggest go a little higher.
Right. Yeah.
So we're gonna whisk this. Actually, Stephanie, do you want to continue whisking this?
Sure.
Beautiful. And I'll continue the next recipe. If you have a helper around, fantastic. Especially if your arms get tired. While Stephanie's doing this, you can prep the bananas, and you can dip anything. This works well with like cherries too, strawberries. But I like the way the banana tastes with it. So we're just going to cut them into about 1/2 inch slices like this, little pieces like this, and we're going to dip them into the custard. Now, if you freeze them ahead of time, I find it actually coats a little bit better. You don't have to, but I did.
Yeah.
Keep going, Stephanie.
Still going.
And you can put little toothpicks in them at a time. So again, this is one of those things where scale up, make a big batch of them,
Yeah.
keep them in the freezer, and then that way when you need a little snack, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
You can just pop them out of the freezer and they're really tasty snack. So I have all our banana slices here. Stephanie's taking forever with Custard. No, so I have one I already did ahead of time. I just wanted you to actually just...
Do I have to keep on going?
No, you don't have to keep going.
Okay.
You can stop. But this is one we did ahead of time. So you can see sort of the thickness of it, right? And so you're going to take the banana, dip it in, and that's it. And then put it back on the parchment.
And so even if someone's experiencing like high blood pressure, bananas are a source of potassium, right? So that can help with lowering blood pressure as well. So, you could take any fruit as too, but bananas were chosen here for that.
Yeah. So at this point here, they're going to set in the freezer, and you can just keep them stored in the freezer. Or if you want them a little softer, you can serve them as is right now. But the eggs are cooked, which is really important. And the custard itself is already flavored. But this is the point where if you want to add anything else on top, it'll actually stick to the custard, right? So I have cinnamon, so I'll use cinnamon, but you can use even like dark chocolate, yeah.
Nuts you could put in.
Sunflower, yeah. Pecans, lime zest. You can go crazy, but that's pretty much what you're looking for there, right? And then you stick them in the freezer. And this
Voila.
is kind of the idea. So we did a few ahead of time, but
Yeah.
you take them off and they're a really nice kind of custardy banana treat.
Yeah.
That's
There you
it. Done. Time to spare.